See you later.
Northwest approved. Wind
911, what is your emergency?
I think my dad is having a heart attack. Please help.
How to know the signs if you are having a heart attack starts right now.
Inspector of heart attack.
The old Balancerian disease, calcium,
The number one
and then
disease in
that
American
opens up,
society.
pushes everything to the side, and that those new leaflets in here start to work immediately.
Howdy, hope everybody's doing well tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about my little stories of the heart attack. As a matter of fact, I just got out of the hospital about 2 days ago now. So if you look over here, you see this little surgery. This is what happens after a calf surgery or getting a stent put in if they go through your hand. But I want to discuss today the different signs that you may be having a heart attack, because the only reason this video is being made is to give my own opinion on what happened to me. I am not a professional in any means. I would suggest to you, if you need a professional opinion, get yourself to a doctor or a cardiologist or someone. This video is more or less to explain the symptoms that you could be feeling, in my case, weeks, a month before my heart attack actually happened. And because of that, because I knew of these symptoms and I was somewhat educated, but not really. I mean, whenever I get into the story, the thing is that you may not realize the symptoms as being part of a heart attack. You may just think that they are normal wear and tear on the body, like I did, because I do a lot of landscape work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go into the story. So let's go back about a year ago. I was doing some landscape work, and I remember I was cutting, like, trimming up about 80, 90 bushes in this one yard. And I had one of those uh, weed whackers, bush trimmers, and it had it had a really long bar on it, so it was pretty heavy. And I was handling this thing for like 4 hours straight. I didn't even put it down. I was surprised that I was able to get the entire yard done in such a short amount of time. But man, my shoulder was killing me. It was killing me. So this is kind of when I think it started, because the shoulder was killing me, and that pain really never went away for like a year. It was really bad that day, and I just rubbed it out and said, "Man, I pulled a muscle or something is just sore because I'm sitting here like this all day long with hedge trimmers." So this was about a year ago. Well, that pain had always been there, and if you're talking about a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to say the pain was a 0.5. It really wasn't that bad. It was something I could deal with. It wasn't necessarily something that was going to ruin the best parts of my day. So I just chalked it up as, okay, I got a little pulled muscle. Over time, it'll get better. As a matter of fact, it never really got better now that I think back, but I got used to it. It was like it was constantly there. It was only, like I said, 0.5 on that pain scale they talk about. So about a year later, uh, I started getting more symptoms, and like I was losing my breath. I couldn't walk but a short distance. And right before I had the heart attack, I remember I could walk out of the house, I could go pick up the weed eater, and I could weed eat for about 5 minutes. And I thought maybe I was getting bronchitis because I was a smoker and kind of still am trying to quit. But, that's a whole other video on trying to quit smoking. But what I'm talking about is all these little things came together until August 4th happened, and bam, I'm in the hospital having a cardiac arrest. I mean, pretty close to a cardiac arrest. The only reason why I didn't go into a full-blown cardiac arrest is because I was able to get there in time to get into the professionals. And I tell you what, the people at Claremore Regional Hospital in Southcrest, which was the hospital that I went to, uh, you really don't realize you can't thank those people enough until you've actually been through it. I mean, it's like they all got their own uh, thing to do, and it seemed like there was 40 or 50 people working on me. Then you've got the coordination of flying a helicopter from Pryor, Oklahoma, landing it, and by the time the helicopter gets there, they've got you completely stabilized, and you load up on the helicopter, and you you get in the helicopter and you fly 15 miles away to a bigger hospital, and they unload you, and security's got you, and they rush you into a surgery, and all this happens in an hour and a half or less. It's totally, I mean, it's fucking amazing of what the medical field can do, and I've never really appreciated it until I had a heart attack. And I can't thank those people enough. I wish I knew their names, but I can't thank them enough. And it is very, very humbling, because a lot of times we take careers, like doctors and lawyers and truck drivers and landscapers. We always try to put those in a group of people. But if you need a cardiologist, and man, you need one, because I'm telling you what, a heart attack is nothing to fool around with. It is not something that you can take an aspirin or a Tylenol and cure when it's happening to you. I mean, it is uh, probably the most helpless feeling I've ever had in my entire life. You're just completely helpless. The only thing you need to be thinking at that time is get somewhere where they're knowledgeable and they can help get you back on track. So the very first thing I noticed was this pain was back here in my shoulder, and that was going on for a long time. The other symptom that I had was maybe a little bit of tingling in the arm. They talk about the tingling in the arm. It just feels like numbness, kind of, and it was to my elbow. It wasn't like all the way down or anything. And that's me. Everybody might react a little bit different. Luckily, I had these symptoms weeks or months before, but some people do not get these symptoms. Some people are just bam on the ground and gone. So I really, it's sad for those people, but maybe, and maybe there's some people out there that might have symptoms who just aren't educated in the mind. Not that you're dumb or anything like that, but maybe you just don't know. And that's mainly what this video is for. So if you got a pain in the back shoulder, and that pain is, trying to describe it as a dull pain, but if you're finding yourself putting yourself up against the corners in your house and trying to rub that pain out, it may be a pulled muscle. But go get it checked out if it's persisting, because if it's a pain that is so bad, I mean, it's not really bad when I say that. I mean, it's just annoying. And the only way it feels like that you can get rid of that pain is to rip your shoulder blade out, and maybe you can, scratch the inside of the shoulder blade and put it back in. It's not a heavy, heavy pain. At least it wasn't for me. But it's a pain that is there constantly, and you cannot rub it out. I mean, if you can probably tell if it's a sore muscle if you're back there and you can actually rub the pain out and it goes away and your arm loosens up. But if it feels like there's something stuck in your shoulder blade all the time, then that could be a sign. The other sign is losing your breath walking short distances. Now, I initially, because I was smoker and I smoked like 2 packs a day, I initially was just thinking, okay, this is a case of bronchitis. I've had this before, So I'll just stop smoking for a few days and put on a cigarette patch, and everything will be fine because I'm such an expert in the medical field when everybody has told me to quit smoking all these years. But like I said, that's another video, and I'm probably going to do one because I've got to at least try to kick that addiction, so maybe I can live on here for another couple of years and do the things that I kind of want to do in life. And after this heart attack, it kind of brings those things to light. You know, like how many people told you you couldn't do anything in life, and you listened to them, and you were just bored, and you were completely, just helpless, and you didn't feel like your life was meaning anything. So you just listened to them, you stayed in that job or anything like that. That's why it's kind of what it brought to life for me. Because a lot of people have told me you can't do that or you can do this. And in my earlier days, I listened. And that, as I got older and after the heart attack, it really clicked in my mind. Like, what the hell am I doing what other people want me to do whenever I can do what I want to do? You know? Now, they probably got your best interest in heart because they don't want to see you fail if they're a family. But sometimes you really got to get out and experience the world on your own. But that's just, that's a complete side detail. Pain in your shoulder, like I said, walking short distances and losing your breath. And in the beginning, it's walking short distances. You lose your breath. You kind of lean up on, you're going to just kind of lean yourself up on the wall, and you'll catch your breath eventually, and then you can go on. Sometimes that little episode might only last one time or one time a day, but it kicks in, and when it kicks in fast and hard, and you better make sure that you're a close to a hospital, close to a cardiologist, someone that can put you in a cath lab and do what they need to do, or open heart surgery, whatever it is that the doctor deems as necessary for what you're going through at the time. For me, it was the cath lab and putting in stents. They put 7 stents in me in a period of 3 days. So I was pretty blocked up. Didn't realize it. Had no idea that my heart was that stented up. Now, I do know that I had a lot of problems in my family, on my mom's side especially, a lot of heart disease, grandfather, great grandfather, all the heart disease runs on that side of the family. Genetics. Lucky for me, I got that side of the genetics apparently, because I'm only 43. Who the hell should be having heart attacks at 43? Or I'm 44. Yeah, I had the heart attack when I was 43. Now I'm 44 because it was just a month later I turned 44 years old. And these are just some things. I've lost a lot of people that I know, and I know a lot of friends that have lost people to heart attacks, and it can happen really quick. And every day, because of the one that I had, I know that every day it could happen to me in just a heartbeat, because this little surgery right here was an episode that just happened 3 days ago. Same conditions, same conditions. So don't be afraid to go into the doctor. Don't be afraid of what it's going to cost. I'm going to make some videos on that in the future because, damn, I don't know how many people die in this country because they don't want the medical bills, and they're like, fuck it, I'm just going to die. That's not, it doesn't have to be that way, and sadly, it is that way. And that's the truth. There's a lot of people that will not go in because of the cost, and they don't have insurance, and all the, that's a whole other set of videos to make. But if you go to the ER and you're having a heart attack, I can guarantee you they're going to take a team of what seems like 40 or 50 people. They're going to get helicopters in the air. They're going to do everything they can to save your life. I know this for a fact because I witnessed it personally happen to me. So anybody who's having these conditions, don't worry about anything. Sometimes in life, you can't plan on the future. You can't go way out in the future and be planning. When you're in the middle of having a heart attack, you got to be planning second by second. Second by second. That's the only way you're going to be able to get the help you need. The hell with everything else. At that moment, you are really, truly in the moment of your life. And the people at the hospitals, the pilots that can get you to a class 1 trauma center or whatever, wherever you need to go, those are the people you need at that moment. Nobody else. Don't listen to anybody. I mean, you don't even listen to me. You can take my advice and do what you want with it. But if you're having those symptoms and someone's saying, oh, just sleep it off, I was thinking about doing that. The doctor told me personally, you would have probably died if you would have went to bed because you were in the middle of going into a full-blown cardiac arrest. And just think that you think that you're tired because you don't have any breath and your shoulder's hurting, and you think, I'll just sleep it off. And then you hear later on, maybe in your family, that little Tommy or Uncle John or whoever it was, you find out that, hey, did you hear? They died in their sleep last night. Not knowing about the symptoms that I'm explaining to you now. And there's many symptoms, but these are the symptoms that I had. Look it up online. Look at the symptoms of a heart attack. The sweating, nausea and vomiting. Now, I didn't have the nausea and vomiting until after the surgery. Got my back rubbed right after the surgery, and I blew chunks like crazy. But I think it had it had something to do with the anesthesia and all that was going on. So these are some little things that I hope help you out. This is How To with Mike, and I sure hope that this video helps somebody out there. In some way or another, I want this video to be educational, and if it helps one person, that's all I'm going for, is one person can get to the hospital in time because of the knowledge they gained from this video. It's worth more than anything in the world. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.